Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sorry we're a little bit late today. Trying to get some things taken care of in the background.
Our situation wasn't very aware.
Yeah. We got an F today in that.
There's only three of us.
We flunked.
Yeah.
Let's see who we got. How you doing, Shauna? Carbon Q.
Look like we got all ladies in the house so far. Tech Money just popped up.
Yeah. Young lady Jova Q.
Everyone got jokes, man.
Silverback, what up?
Don't get canceled.
Gina. Y'all hit that like button. Or Mel Joe, hit that like button. Hit them thumbs up. Philly Slow, what up? Tech Money. What's going on, Jason?
Jason Ewing. My West Coast brother.
What's up, Bushcrafter?
How you doing?
Hello, Sean Fisher. You're going to change that name. We're going to work on that.
What's up, Philly Slow? Yeah, I just had to send Gina a long text. That's a whole conversation. Yeah, there was something I sent out earlier this week, but it was more on Black businesses in the Black community.
Yeah, that bothers me. We got to change that.
That's a deep in that.
Oh no, I was talking to my wife. She got a whole government up there.
Yeah, okay.
So I told her we got to
Resilient Dad. I ain't seen him in forever.
Oh, yeah, where you been at, Resilient?
That brother went to Africa or something.
What's going on, Willie?
Hey, anybody out there in the chat want to co-sign for me?
Nah, we don't do that.
I take that as a no. Boy.
What else we got in here?
Yo, other than that, I hope everybody had a good weekend. And because I think I had a pretty demanding one. My baby girl found a new song on her iPad, the Cha-Cha Slide. And we've been doing that for a while now. So I don't know how to do the dance. I didn't know my wife knew how to do the dance, but she do. Baby girl playing Cha-Cha Slide nonstop. And the monster dance. He said, yeah, Jason, like on loan. We might got some rich friends in here, Jason Ewing.
Oh, yeah, shoot. They may have hit that lottery.
Yeah, somebody in Washington State hit it, huh?
Sure. No, I think that was Oregon. But that's right next door, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody we know. It might be Ghetto. Sure. Ghetto mess around, hit that lottery. We don't see it behind no more. He do that real ghetto stuff. He said, as soon as I get my money, I'm gone.
I'm out.
You should. As soon as I get my money, I'm gone.
So, Joe, what are we talking about tonight?
I guess topic situational awareness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. We came a little late. So, I mean, like I said, we wasn't aware of our situation other time.
And nah, I was just running that, Charlie Papa Tango.
Yeah, resilient dad. He said he been running marathons in different places, and you know, he had to go to somebody else's live, and but he can't wait. He came blessed. You know what I mean? And all of that. Something about Sophia in here. What? Oh my God, we got the Virginia in the house. We like that. How you doing, Sophie? Long time no see. But yeah, we talking about situational awareness today, right? And with the situational awareness, we were just talking about different things because it's the key thing to your preparedness is whether you have a firearm or whether you don't have a firearm. There's symptoms and things that you can look for and identify in order to avoid a situation. In any case, it could be whether you're being followed from the gas station. You know what I mean? I know somebody who thought somebody was following them. So in that case, do you drive straight home? You know what I mean? So the person who's following you can know where you live. It's just some things that you just have to be aware of regardless of the situation. And it doesn't always have to do with a firearm, but it has always to do with your safety. You know what I mean? Guys, anything else?
Nah, I think you surmised it pretty well. It's not don't be paranoid by any means, but just be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. I'm not saying, if you see something, say something. We ain't no snitches, but just know what looks right, what feels right. And if it doesn't, go ahead and leave, you know?
And be careful when you leave to notice if anyone is always be aware of, even when you leave, and especially a shady situation, if somebody's following you or trying to case you, or something like that, because it just doesn't stay. Sometimes it just doesn't stay in that place.
Yeah.
It can go other places with you. So, and just constantly be aware. But I know Ray's going to show some videos of some things that happen, and I've always noticed a pattern, like when my radar go off, and in a lot of these videos that Ray about to show, I would like to see if some of you guys in the chat see this pattern. You know what I mean? But Ray, you got anything?
Yeah, it's just a lot of things people need to pay attention to, like Armel and Joe were saying, if you're riding down the road, always pay attention to what's behind you. If a car seems like it's following you, make a couple of turns and you'll know for sure if that car is following you, and if it seems that way, just keep on riding. Don't go home. Don't go home. Stop at a police station or stop at the mall or something like that, right there in front of the mall. Don't go park, just stop right there in front of the mall or something, and then let them pass by, So
a well-lit area works for that. Yeah, or a police station or a firehouse, places where people exist, people are there all the time and it's well lit. But you have to be aware of some of the things that's happening. Ray is going to send some videos, but I just wanted to see if some of you guys notice some of the patterns in these videos. Here's one right now.
Yeah, here's the first one. Play this one for you. And some of you all may have seen this one.
Hell, some of y'all might be the people in the silver van. Armel.
Might be some jump out boys.
Nah. This is definitely my style. This is definitely not my style. I would like to see if I turn to the life of crime, I won't have any co-defendants.
Yeah, so with that one, I mean, we know for a fact those guys followed that guy all the way to the house.
Yeah.
Then they blocked him in when he backed up. Now, one of the things I did notice with the guy, he didn't want to damage his car. Me, something like that, I'm not thinking about my car, man. If I hit that truck or whatever the hell happens, it's just gonna happen. I'm getting away from him. But he looked like he was not just concerned about his safety, but concerned about damaging his car when he rolled off, because he took his time to ride off. And then he made sure to kind of swerve in between those vehicles. With me, I would knock the shit out of out of their vehicles, and my own, or probably them too. What's you guys' take on it?
Hey, so if you can, go ahead, Armel.
No, go ahead.
So a little bit of background on this video. The audio in the news report reads that they followed him home from a bank. I guess they call it jugging or juking, whatever, in Texas. So it just goes back to situational awareness, like Armel has said. If you go to spend a large amount of cash or you deposit or withdraw a large amount of cash, make sure or try to see if someone's following you, right? Single tail is easy to pick up, and then do that. If you notice someone's following you, like the guy from Detroit Urban Survival Training said, make some turns. Don't go directly to where you're going to, and just cut in the dip and see if they go by or see if they turn when you turn. A couple of things about that video is, one, if he would have had that situational awareness, he just should have kept, the individual should have kept on going. Two, once they blocked him off, hey Ray, if you can run that video to where the second car pulled up, and I can show it or talk about it.
No. Yeah, I want to say what's up to this beautiful, sexy person that's on this thing called Everything Jamaica. I like everything about her.
So right there, stop it. Actually, go back a little bit if you can. All right. Well,
can't go back. I can't go back.
All right. So just stop it. So one of the good things that the individual did, in my opinion, they pulled him back. They backed in, right? So that gives them enough vehicle between them and the alleged assailants. One of the bad things that they did, as soon as they seen that vehicle come in and get into a blocking position, they should have immediately drove forward and went to their right, hitting the tail end or the rear driver's side of the vehicle to get out to egress. That's the lightest portion of the vehicle. You can get a good pit maneuver, and you'll probably immobilize that vehicle depending upon the weight disparity. But as soon as he's seen them jump out, he should have been out of there. They should have been out of there, because those guys, they look like predators. They look like almost apex predators in that situation. Now, one of the things that's going for them is, from the video, you kind of think they're not really about that life, because they was banging on the windows and everything else. They wasn't direct to the point and just like all on it. So that might have brought him some time from like your true jump out boys or apex predators. This individual's lucky, because it could have went, he could have been laying in chalk.
So, yeah. Because I mean, if these guys were seasoned thieves or killers or whatever, it wouldn't have ended that way. They would have shot that car up.
This was amateur night at the Apollo.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
this is amateur night at the Apollo. But look at the pattern. They're just starting. I'm sure this is not going to be their last thing they do.
And also, so another thing about this, right? For those of the individuals in the chat that back into their parking spaces, kudos on you, because sometimes you want to get out faster than it takes you to get in. But when you back out, leave yourself some space so that if someone attempts to block you in, you can actually maneuver your vehicle to get out, back up and then get out. So
Joe, let me interrupt you real quick, Joe.
Go ahead.
Hey, I need you to say that one more time. Say it loud and clear, so my wife can hear that. Okay, say it again. Backing up.
All right. So for people that back into parking spaces or to their driveways, that's good on you, because now you can see what's in front of you instead of turning around. But what you should do is leave some space between you and whatever you're backing up against, right? Because if you go back go back to the beginning of it?
You can go back to.
I can't go back.
Just start it over, man.
Yeah.
Just start it and pause it. All right.
So this when they roll off.
All right. So right there, pause it right there. All right. So play it until the vehicle pulls in. All right. So right there, right? So play it a little bit more. All right. Pause it. So pause it. So had these been like professionals, they wouldn't have left that much space. They would have pulled that vehicle right up against it. So they didn't have any room to maneuver, right? You can't pull forward or anything like that. So if you are one of those individuals that back up into a space, make sure you leave yourself some room between whatever you're backing up into and then like the 40 portion of your car. When I back up, I'll generally leave about 6 or 7 feet. That's enough for me to get my vehicle's engine blocked to push anything that's trying to block me in, right? So that's one of the mistakes we see people make is they'll back all the way into a spot, don't leave themselves any room to maneuver. Now they're just stuck, right? So again, as you pulling up to a stoplight, right, or a stop sign, there's a vehicle in front of you. Don't pull all the way up, right? Because now you can't maneuver, you can't go left or right, or you can't back up in case they try to do a 3 vehicle stop, roll and stop on you, or in case, the guy the squeegee guy tries to jack you. You can't go anywhere. So that's one of the things. Right here, as soon as that door opened up, that's your cue to haul ass. So if you look to the left, he could have went forward and to the left, or the way he egressed, he went to the right, he went forward and to the right. So I can't see what's on the left, but maybe to the right could have been a little bit more room because you got that other car that's behind that gray SUV and it's parking, so it's real narrow. Me personally, I would went forward. But again, it's not a bad choice of going to the right because it's less weight in the rear quarter panel on the driver's side, right? You don't have to deal with that engine. I don't know what type of vehicle he's driving and if he got enough horsepower and traction to push that thing out of the way. So
now it looks like a BMW 5 Series.
That's a heavy car, man.
Yeah.
That's a heavy
it looked
car.
like I think he didn't have to hit the car or pivot it, just the exit plan because they were so sloppy with their execution. Another thing was
he had that light right there. He had that pull. So
did he have a firearm in his hands?
Yeah. So the three individuals got firearms, or at least 2 of them.
They wasn't about it. They would have just ended him right there. That was something else. They just, he got out. The other issue was whoever was in the house, because I'm sure it was another car parked, he kind of like left them.
Well, and one of those things you don't know. He could.
I don't know. I don't know that
you can have 2 vehicles.
Right.
Someone there's a whole bunch of stuff we really can't speculate on.
You can't speculate
far as the second vehicle in the driveway. But yeah, amateur hour, and sometimes amateurs win. But this time,
yeah. I think this gentleman or this young lady or whoever it was extremely lucky.
Yeah,
very lucky.
Question for the chat: anyone in the chat familiar with a pit maneuver and how it's done and like the physics behind it? Anyone? Bueller? No.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but that was an interesting thing, and I'm glad for that person to make it through. But that person could have identified that following home from wherever he was coming from earlier, and it didn't have to go to if it was his house or not his house. You know what I mean? What's this now, Ray?
Well, this one I think the lady was just getting home or she was walking or doing something, but this is outside of her house.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, some jump out boys roll up on her and I just played a video. You'll see.
Okay.
Okay, all right, we're down. Get down. No. Get out. Give me the keys.
So I don't know if her and her husband were just getting home, because that's her husband you hear in the background, and you see him you'll see the guys walking him up at gunpoint.
I'll open it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So now at this point, you have to consider, how much do you love your wife? You're like, hey, yo, Poppy, shoot her.
I think this was amateur night as well, unless it was something in that house that they needed them for access for.
Well, I think they was a little bit more sophisticated, because they came out on the prowl and they got physical. So it's not like they gave them an option. You know what I mean? They got physical with the wife, so that instilled that fear and everything else. They was kind of direct. They got them at a good time in that transitional space where we all think we're safe, either getting out of our vehicle, going into the house from the driveway, or coming back from an evening stroll, walking the dog, into our comfort zone, our safe space. And those transitional spaces is some of the most dangerous spaces you can be in, because you really don't have a whole bunch of options. It's like that fatal funnel, So now I'm in my driveway. Do I try to make it to my house? Do I start yelling because there's someone in my house? Does that individual still love me enough to come out and be like, hey, yo, Poppy, I don't like her that much? Hey,
Poppy. Hey, Poppy.
$5. So and that's one of those things, because a lot of times when I make it to the house, or I make it to some place I know I feel comfortable, and I'll let my guard down, right? You start moving stuff in, groceries, garbage, whatever. We don't lock the door behind us because we're gonna run back out, leave our garage open and everything else. And again, this could have been one of those situations, like you said, Armel. They could have been casing them. They could have, been on them for a while and knew that they deal in cash, deal in jewelry, deal in stuff that's highly valuable and very hard to track. And they just got them at that time, So without really the background, it's hard to say. But again, in that transitional space, I feel real safe. I let my guard down. I don't have any personal protection, So, and again, as Siege Talk would say, and a lot of people would say, a lot of fights go to the ground. So I don't know this individual's background, whether they're good with their hands or whatever, but carry something on you,
Okay.
Have an option.
I'm glad you said that, Jova, because I'm looking at like this scenario in particular, different from the other one, right? In this thing, the person had the absolute drop on them. You know what I mean? This more than anyone than the last video. This one they have the drop on them. So now I want people who love those YouTube coming out and the posing, the exaggerated self-defense videos, and imagine yourself in, this point blank distance when it rolled up on you. How are you going to do all of this pressing out and all of this stuff that you're trained for? Because if you look at it, she didn't have enough room, time, or space for that. So just think about, that's one of the patterns that I wanted to identify in some of these videos.
Yeah, but even with this video, with the little bit that we see, we don't know if they were just coming from a walk, or if maybe they just pulled up into the driveway and he went checked the mailbox and she was waiting, waiting there on him.
Right.
It still has to go back to situational awareness, just
situational awareness,
being aware of your surroundings.
Situational awareness gives you the most important combat advantage: distance.
Yeah. So like they say, distance buys time, time buys options. And that's a truism. The longer I got to deal with the threat, the better I can deal with it. And that comes with that time, space, distance formula. And that's it. Because a lot of times if someone closes the distance on you, they minimize or mitigate a lot of the options you have, right? So if I close the distance on you, I get control of your hands or you're fighting. Now you don't have two hands to go to those weapons. You might not be able to get to the knife you have on you because we're tussling and everything else. So again, in the civilian sector, it's different, right? Because you can't, that individual's a threat. I'm gonna take them out at 21 feet. You gotta get lawyers after that. So it's a catch-22, really. But again, the more distance you got, the more standoff distance you got, the better you are 9 times out of 10 at dealing with threats, right? And the two things you got to throw out: if an individual has a gun and they're shooting at you, a firearm is a distance weapon, right, when used properly. So I kind of throw that one out. But when it comes to someone snatching your purse, your wallet, cutting you, slashing you, pushing you off of a subway station onto the train, in front of the train, stuff like that, the more distance you got, that personal space, that personal bubble, you can control everything in that, like your workspace. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let anyone get into my workspace. So I go for my whatever. This is my workspace right here. And once you're inside that workspace, you can interfere with my flow and my economy of motion. Now I got to fight you off. So,
and the faster, the thing about the times thing, the faster you can identify something, the more distance you can make between it. You don't have to wait to 0 minute. So just make that distance. Like, oh, this is off. Move away immediately. Just get yourself some distance. If you're about to buy something, put it down and go.
Yeah.
All right, here's the next one. Let's see, my bad, the volume.
I'm sorry?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please?
I just got to laugh just the way you said
CPD.
Can you please step to the front door, please?
CPD, we would like you to step to the door, please.
Can I see a badge?
Watch his little buddy head come
We
to the
would like you to
side.
step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you my badge, sir.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
See, at that point, that's when you open up with that thing from DMX to start shooting. Like, all right.
Can I help you?
But yeah, this is another one. I mean, if some
CPD, we
police
need
are
to
not
ask
gonna
you a
come to your
couple
house looking
questions.
like that. That's what me and Joe were talking about this earlier.
I'm sorry?
They're not gonna come there,
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions.
with hoodies on, and their face covered up. If they come to your house like that, first thing you want to do is call the police. Anybody come to your house, call the police. And just let them keep on doing what they're doing. And by the time the police get there, either they're gonna take off running or they're gonna start shooting at the police, one or the other. But it's not for you to take and try and confront them because you already see they have guns out. What's your take, Joe?
I would say, maybe the Scorpion Squad in Memphis might come to your house like that. But wait, they're disbanded. No, so two things right here, right? Kudos for having whatever surveillance system they got, because now you can see the fight before the fight comes to you and crosses that threshold, right? Distance buys you time buys you options, because we don't know what the individual is doing behind that threshold of the door. They could be fortifying their position. They could be digging a hole and putting some lime in it, right? Or they could be calling legitimate cops or legitimate 911 to find out, hey, I'm at such and such, location. Did you guys send a unit to my house? And what's their badge number? Stuff like that. again, we're starting to see a lot of these forced entry style home invasions where they pose as repair people, police officers, you know,
The cable guy.
yeah, the cable guy, utilities guy. So again, if you got some type of thing where you can see who it is before you opening up that door, you got that time, space, distance thing going. And also get prepared, you know, behind your door, whether that's a firearm, whether that's getting 911 on the telephone, because all those calls are recorded and they are admissible in court. Now, with that being said, be careful what you say. You know, don't be like, oh, I'm so glad you knocked on this door. I'm going to send your ass to hell. You know, that can be used against you in that civil trial.
Damian Price, what's up?
You know, it's just
Chris
one of those
Stevens, what's
things.
up?
Hey, anyone in the chat got anything to say on that? Any experiences with this?
Ray, drop the link if everybody want to come in. This thing, you know, this was something else, but these police officers are very young too. So
yeah, but still, you know, when you think about
I'm so far removed from 21. A police officer pulled me over the other day because I was swerving to check if I was drunk or something. He gave me a Suburban. He didn't pull me over. He just checked on me to see if I was drunk. I was parked already. I looked at him. I was like, "Damn, you a baby, bro."
Armel,
My
you
dude
just
looked
old.
like he just graduated high school.
Armel, you're just old.
Yeah, I know, man. And that young man reminded me, man. I was like, "Damn, you a baby, man." I was like,
Yeah.
"How old are you?"
So one thing for the chat, just to remember, 9 times out of 10, if an officer or a member of law enforcement does come to your door at night or often, anytime, they're either going to be in uniform, they're going to have a squad car. Most officers, if they're not kicking down the door, taking the door, they're going to be wearing something that identifies them as law enforcement. Whether they flash a badge, they have their badge on their belt, or they got on one of those vests. And you know, again, I can't tell what time it is at night, but it might be a little bit later on in the evening. Generally, if they make a visit, they're going to have their lights going. Might not be running the wailer or the sirens, but they will have their lights to identify that they are actually law enforcement. Now, with that being said, there are some people that run around with fake lights that look like police lights, but that's a whole nother thing.
And fake badges that you can order off of, and you know, remember in Cooley High when they had the daggone the long ranger badge? Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all old heads.
Yeah, but again, you know, the easiest thing to do is just, if you're unsure, you know, say, hey, all right, not a problem. I'm calling 911 to verify that you are, in fact, a law enforcement officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most cops should be good with that, because you're doing it for your safety and also for their safety.
And if they're not there just for a general check, they wouldn't be aggressive. They was just knocking on the door to inform you of some information. If they was knocking on the door to get something with guns out, they would already bust the door down with their warrant.
No Diddy.
If they had a warrant, that door would be
no
gone.
Diddy.
That door would be gone. They wouldn't be no unless you're related to, you know, some heavy, you know, politician or something. You associate with politicians, then they might just tell you, do you want to call your lawyer? They might knock on your door. You Paul Manafort or something like that. You know, they'll knock on the door and tell you to lawyer up, and we'll wait for you outside to get dressed. You know what I mean? That's a different situation.
It'd be just like when Tron went to jail.
Huh?
It'd be just like when Tron was going to jail.
Yeah.
On the Chappelle show.
Yeah. We want to lawyer up.
That's crazy.
The biggest thing about awareness is being in that situation when those kids knocked on the door. Now, that's another thing I want to address with integrity. And that's one of the things that I noticed with this young man who was a police officer who pulled me over for swerving, who checked on me for swerving. He was so young. You know what I mean? We have to start looking at some of these young men as kids. They're grown men, so they have to be responsible for their actions. You know, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy. These are grown men. 18, you grown man. You responsible. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. So yeah, with this video right here, I don't care. Situational awareness. You couldn't be prepared for this, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, this is that New York City stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You could have been prepared.
Nah,
tell
well,
you.
yeah,
Watch
you'd be
what happened.
prepared by
Watch what
staying your ass
happened.
at the house.
Boom, there you go. Turn, got him, got him. They should have seen it.
Hey, run that back.
That's that New York City right there.
Armel, wasn't you just up there?
Yeah, that's Armel right there.
Yeah, man.
In a white t-shirt. That's Armel. Shit,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to check Crime Stoppers and see what type of reward they got on them.
Go ahead, man. Like I said, if it was me, it wouldn't be the second person. Yep.
And I guess that, who's that? The police? Oh yeah, that's the police, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, where they come from?
That's the counter goon squad.
And so they see them coming and take off running.
I would tell you what that was, but y'all wouldn't understand it.
Well, I mean, Armel, that's the whole point of the show.
This
so either you don't understand it. That's why you don't want to tell us.
Oh, this is what happened with that. I don't know all the details, but what it looked like. Little girl was holding, and the cats that was standing around the corner knew the little girl was holding. She was probably transporting something from one spot to the next. You know what I mean? Predators use children a lot of times to carry their shit. So the culprits were actually waiting for them. And they lollygagging being kids. We just passed the cops or some crazy mess like that. Watch the bag. They knocks him down. They head straight for her. Bag. Get her. Bag.
Man, that looked like a whole grown individual right there, man.
No, these are kids.
Are they?
Yeah. Boom. Gone. Oh, I may be off.
Yeah, they ain't getting nothing off of her or him, whatever.
You got to give it some space.
Oh, that's Johannesburg.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, J-Berg is wild, man.
I haven't been there, man. But I know that dude been there. One of these guys in the chat, Brazilian dad. Yeah, I haven't been there.
So yeah, like I said, for that one, I mean, I don't think you can prepare for that.
Yeah, that's out of this world right there.
What else we got up here?
Mentos, what's up?
Yeah, who else? B Glenn, what's going on, B?
Hey, does anyone in the chat have any questions or want to come on and share anything or say anything? Anything?
Yeah, I know everything Jamaica says. She wants to come on and tell a story.
All right, drop that link.
Carbon Q said, drop that link.
The link is out.
You want to show another video?
Yeah, let me get this next one up here.
Yeah. But like Joe was saying, the faster you notice that something is off, the faster you can create distance. The most important thing in the world is space and time. You can always get more money and more other shit. Damn. Oh.
I mean, he walked through the door and the guy got him. And he must have followed him all the way up there. And that's what we were saying as far as being aware of your surroundings and situations and everything. I mean,
Hey, can you go back to when he went through the door? So just roll it back. So right about there, right? You notice that natural choke point where his body's kind of canted. He can't do anything. Both his
Mhm.
hands is full. He can't defend himself. So if anything, right, that situation for the situational awareness, if you're coming up, someone's behind you, just feign a roll and be like, hey, can you get the door for me? So that does two things, right? That keeps your hands free, keeps at least one hand free, but it also see if that person's supposed to be there or not, right? You also throw them off their game, off their tempo. It's just like, you spoke to them and everything else. That generally throws people off 70% of the time, 80% of the time, unless you're from where our male's at with those super apex predators. Second, look at his feet. He's off balance, right? So he's easy to get pushed over and everything else. You always want to be squared up to someone when you're like that, if at all possible. So there's just certain things to know. Real narrow space, can't defend. He can't get any space in there because you're in a hallway, looks to be maybe about 6 feet wide, 8 feet wide. So you can't break contact. You can't create distance. Just look, you just gave everything up. As the Cobra Kai would say, sweep the leg. And what does he do? Takes it to the ground.
2A in LA, fam, what up?
Carbon Q, nice to see you.
Everybody, how y'all doing? Good to see y'all.
What's going on, Q?
Nothing bad. Same old, same old.
Carbon, when I seen this video, I thought about you. I'll be like, Brownsville.
that's exactly how it goes down. But yeah, great.
Well, man, like Marcy Project, son. Marcy, what?
This is some
Marcy,
Brownsville stuff.
Tilden.
Up 2A.
Oh man, Lyndon.
Growing up on the Boulevard of Linden.
That's right. East New York, all through in there.
What
Everything.
up, Skilly?
Like Phil Dinkins.
What's going on, fellas?
Flatbush, everything. Hi, Skilly.
What's going on, everybody?
Skills.
Yep. Hi, guns. What's going
So
on?
tell us what you want to tell us some stuff. Some input, Carbon.
Knowing your colors, your Cooper's colors, which is white, which means you're at a 45-degree angle, which is 9 times out of 10 on your phone, your head is down. You're not paying attention to your surroundings. You kind of want to stay in the yellow zone where you're alert, but you're not like on super alert, but you're aware of your surroundings and what's going on. There's orange where you know that there's something going on. You got a gut feeling. There's a sound or something that has your attention. You haven't identified the threat as yet, but you're aware something is going on. Then you go into red, which is actually where you're going to start identifying what's going on and possibly act. There's another color, which is black, but I'm a little confused on that one because some people say it is where after you engaged or possibly pulled a trigger or had the use of force or possibly take a life, that's when you're in the black. Some people say when you're in the black, you're completely frozen. You're not going to react to anything. You're just there. The color that you kind of want to stay into, where the zone is the yellow zone, where you're relaxed, but you're alert. You're aware of what's going on. It's the little things that you do. You step outside your house. Don't just step outside your house. Look, be aware. Look at the window first. Look around, see. You're not really looking for any potential threat, but you're just looking. And if you do that every day, you'll kind of, things that don't match will jump out right away because it's a daily habit for you. Walking with your head down or on your in your phone, having your headphones on both ears, not having one to listen for any sounds or anything like that is another thing. Especially if you have children, you're kind of distracted with your kids. Even walking your dog, you kind of have to have the mindset when you step outside your door, everything is a potential threat. You need to pay attention to what's going on. Walking down a sidewalk, look further down. Is there a group of people down there? Do you know those people? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you don't know them, just avoid it. Cross the street. As you come up to it, give yourself space to run to act or, to take cover. Those are all things that you want to assess whilst you're walking down the street. Give somebody some space and give yourself some space. Never walk right up on somebody, because if they want to just swing out and hit you or grab you, you're in arm's reach. Always be difficult. How you carry yourself. Don't look tired or like that kid that was walking down there. They're just shuffling along with the bag. They needed to be a little bit more shoulders back, eye contact, move with a purpose. Act like you have someplace to go and you're getting there. Don't just lollygag and be all over the place. Remaining calm is another thing. When you deal with a potential threat, try not to elevate with them. Remain calm, keep eye contact. Try to get some, ask them simple questions like identify with whatever it is that they're beefing about. Oh, I can't believe she did that. Yeah, that's crazy. You all right? You good? So you can get out of there. Move out of his area or whatever is gonna go down there. There's nothing wrong with getting out the way. That should be your first thing, is not to engage, but to remove yourself from the possible threat or issue that's going on. Take cover. Never run with the crowd. Most people have the tendency, you see a crowd, you start running with them. Go the opposite way. And it's so many points to situational awareness. If you're in a restaurant, it's one exit. You got to sit back and look at it. If it's only one exit, if something happens, everybody's going to try to get through that door.
Mm-hmm.
Look around the restaurant, find another exit, go to the bathroom, see if there's one in the back. And if not, if it's a restaurant, 9 times out of 10, they do have one in the kitchen because they have to get in and out. Go that way. Whilst everybody's trying to get through this one door, which is a funnel, get out this exit and, out of the line of sight. If you can't get out, try to take cover, something that you think is going to stop a bullet if it's a shooting incident, something that will give you time to figure out where it's coming from, if you're going to engage or if you're just going to stay covered until help comes your way. It's just really paying attention to your surroundings. Become a people watcher. When you go out, just watch people, observe people's behavior, and you'll be surprised at the things that you see that you would not believe that people still do to this day, that don't even have an inkling of what's going on. I went away this weekend and I was at the airport. There's a man with his son and his daughter. So he's holding on to the son because the son is younger than the daughter, but the daughter's only like, I would say 7 or 8 years old. It's that sidewalk that moves. She stays back. She's not walking. They're walking on the sidewalk, so they're way ahead of her. But she's like playing the game with them, looking like this. They don't even know I'm not here. I'm looking at her. And I'm like, why is she by herself? It's an older Chinese couple. They're just talking to themselves. So I'm looking at her. I'm looking to see where she's looking at her parents. He's all the way at the end already. He can't see her now because she's standing behind the old Chinese couple. And he's freaking out. And she pops out. And I was like, that's crazy because anybody could have snatched her in the airport. She's all the way in the back. He has no idea that she's all the way back there. And he's just talking to the son, having a whole conversation. But you could see the panic in his face when he turned around and realized he couldn't find her. So I'm just looking at her. I was like, your daddy should beat your butt. Yeah. You play too much. But it's things like that. When you sit and you just people watch, you can kind of pick up things from people. Just pick up certain mannerisms that they have. Not everything is what they say it is. You might see somebody with their arms crossed. You automatically think, oh, they're aggressive or things like that. Sometimes crossing your arms is just a soothing mechanism for some people.
Mm-hmm. That's
really,
important.
Yeah, there's certain things that they tell you, oh, somebody's shifty eyed all the time. They're not. They're trying to recall something. You just have to really observe the person, watch how they're moving. If they're fidgety, look to see what they're fidgeting about. It's foot movements, little quirks and things like that that'll give it away. That you could be like, something's wrong with that person, or it's a gut feeling. You'll walk into a room and it could be thick. Nobody else will catch it, but you'll walk and be like, why the hell is the air so heavy in here? Something's wrong. Something's going to go down. Pay attention to what's going on.
I want to add to that, and you mentioned a whole lot of good points.
Yeah, I love this topic. Yeah.
Before I pass to Skilly and let Skilly talk his thing, one of the things my grandmother taught me a long time ago, regardless of any situation, is maintaining manners. Is as somebody look a certain way, always speak. and it throws a small pleasantry throws even some things off guard. But it's also a temperature check. You know, whether a person is going to be aggressive, like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? Fuck me, what's up?" and all of this, and you know me, you know that it'll just telltale sign. It's kind of a way of psychologically controlling the situation and posturing yourself. Hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What's up? And keep going. Whether they respond, if they respond, yeah, good. You know, you can be kind of. It's not 100%, but it's kind of, if it comes out aggressive, you know, these are things the other direction or whatever. However, you're going to posture yourself. You know,
And
what?
one thing also about that is, as a predator, I want easy prey. I really don't want to work too hard for that meal, right? So once you speak and acknowledge me, I know that you know I'm in the room. I also know that you're not afraid. So I'm going to look for something else. I'm going to move on to the next. Carbon Q, I want to touch on one thing you said about walking by people. One of the things too, I try to make it a habit of never walking in between anyone in the barrier because I have no outs. If I walk between someone in a wall, right, they can press me up against the wall, you know what I mean? And you have no outs, right? So I will always go to the outside somewhere to where if you do come at me, I can go left, right, or backwards or forwards. If I got my back up against the wall, I can't go back. I can't go backwards. I can't retreat. So that's something else. You know, utilize your environment to your advantage.
Absolutely.
Utilize that urban camouflage. If you're on the street that has mirrors on the street, look and see who's around the corner.
Right.
You know, Will's Dinkins, he hungry. He out there.
I do. If you're walking by a shop that has a glass window, you can
Glass windows. Yeah. Learn how to use that. Learn how to use reflections from vehicles and everything else. Learn to use your environment to your advantage. It takes some time. It takes a lot of time. You know, learn. You know, if you hear footsteps behind you and you cross your street at a crosswalk, and those same footsteps cross, and learn how to. And it's hard to do, but it takes time. Learn how to figure out when, you know, three of those lions have split off and they're trying to get you in the phalanx, which means like you're walking this way, three dudes behind you, one breaks off this way to get ahead of you and cut you off. Gotta dip. But
it's a strange thing when we speak about situational awareness and all of this stuff. And a lot of times we're talking about when we're on foot, right? We utilize almost every aspect of situational awareness for those of us that drive when we're on the road. We're noticing a lot of things that's going on. We look in our mirrors, we seeing where we're going, and we know when a crazy person is on the road and cutting in front of them. We know how to do that. But when it comes to us walking in our daily lives or just on foot, we tend to throw some of those same skills that we learn when we're driving, that we utilize when we're driving, we seem to put them somewhere else, and it shouldn't go anywhere else. That situational awareness when you're driving should just apply to everything you do. And you look in, you're in this machine, you know, it's some of the principles, or most of the, if not all of the principles, still apply.
Sure does. Remember the three stupids. Don't go to stupid places with stupid people and do stupid things. If you plan to
I'm hit.
Yeah.
I'm hit.
Like if you do plan to
hey, that's the best times you ever have, man.
I'm hit.
Nothing good happens after midnight, man. You just didn't know where to go.
I'm finished.
Before you go out, if you know you're going someplace, like try to check it out with the apps that they have now. You can pull out just about any place and look at the surrounding areas. Look where your nearest exits are, your nearest highway to that police, hospital, whatever it is. Especially if it's not an area that you're used to. If you're going into another area, know the culture of that area. If you're going into a gang infested area for whatever reasons you might have to go to because it's your job or whatever the case may be, know the color code. Like don't go in there with something that's going to draw attention to you or have them all on top of you. Try to be as neutral as possible. It's not just the culture. So interacting with the people, knowing how to remain calm. I'm going to keep saying it all the time. The calmer you are and the able that you're able to maintain a certain level of confidence when you talk to them and keep that eye contact with them, it sends a message that to them that you're not an easy target. You're comfortable where other people will be spooked out. You're not. You're actually having that conversation and remaining calm. Try to remain as calm as you can. Get yourself out the situation. Whatever it is you have to say or do, agree with them. Whether you do or don't, get yourself out the way and be out of there. Unless
confidence is your biggest weapon, and Carbon said that.
Mhm.
Confidence is your biggest weapon because confidence shows that you're not so easy. So
Right.
you have confidence and self-respect, you way ahead of the game, and then all the rest is just scanning and noticing body language and that.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Bridget
Okay.
Anderson said it best. Experience some bullshit. Come on and experience some of my bullshit.
I know living in New York for all those years and when I was bartending and waitressing, definitely was way more aware than I am now. But I have stories of things that happened and how just being confident and having a certain kind of strut and walking around actually really made a difference in terms of whether or not someone would assault me or not,
Mhm.
I mean, Amber was like, "Oh, I could tell one of my stories." Okay, I'm going to tell a story about something that happened years ago, even before I came to America in Jamaica. And I went to a party and this guy saw me. I didn't know this guy. Came up to me and I kind of pushed him off and was like, "I don't know you," and that kind of thing. And anyway, he threatened me to say that next time I see you, what I'm gonna do to you, all kind of sort of stuff. And this guy was like 6'3" and I'm 5'2", and I was like, "Yeah, whatever, do your best, Chuck," kind of thing. Anyway, it just so happens that at the time I worked at a resort, and I was walking in late at night, and this guy and his friend was actually behind me, and I remember I kind of one of the things that I always try to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings and know what's going on. And if I feel funny, I'm the type of person to kind of I believe that I'd walk more in what you call like walk diagonal to the person so I can kind of see him in the corner of my eye. And once I realized that it was him and his friend, I literally turned around, looked at them, let them know I saw them, and turned back around and kept on walking at the same pace. Because I realized that threw them off because one, I didn't look like I was afraid. I didn't run, and I knew that they were behind me. And they didn't do anything. And I don't know, personally, I believe that actually maybe stopped them, made them think twice about it, because I showed that even though there are two men bigger than me, I wasn't scared. Because I'm like, one of the things Armel could tell me about me is that I'm like, there's no way me and another motherfucker gonna be at it, and one of us is not coming out alive and ain't fucking me. I don't care how big you are, I'll fuck you up. That's how I always thought mentally. I don't care how big you are. And that kind of thinking, I mean, I could even tell another story of working late at night, bartending. I was on the train in New York. 4 o'clock in the morning. I was on my feet for 12 hours. And this guy was literally coming through the train, bothering people. So I was leaning back. One time the train doors opened, that time you could open the train doors and see people coming in and out. And I saw this, he was a big burly guy. He was opening train, came to this, and he was literally bothering everybody on the train and telling them to give him money. I saw him and I leaned back and closed my eyes. He literally came and shoved me in the shoulder, like, so I said, I think he said, "Give me $1," whatever he said.
Mhm.
And I opened my eyes, said, "Motherfucker, get the fuck away from your bumper rascal. You don't know how me fucking work." I mean, at cussed his, I was fucking pissed. Because I'm like, this asshole, this big motherfucker, then I'm gonna give him my money that I just spent 12 hours on my feet. Fuck you, asshole. I cussed him out. And then I leaned
We got
back
a
and
case
closed
of
my
ammo,
eyes.
guys. We got a case of ammo.
No, but what's so funny was, I don't know what it was, but I leaned back and closed my eyes again. And underneath your eye could still, he wasn't sure what to do because he was like, this crazy woman just cussed me out, and then she leaned back and closed her eyes.
Right.
So I kind of ninja fuck his head.
Right. you make crazy decisions.
What you did, if I could think, was you made yourself a hard target.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You displayed a sense of confidence and self-respect. And most of the stuff I know about criminology, criminals are kind of lazy. That's why they turn to the life of crime. So they like easy, soft stuff.
And they like to feed off your fear. You know, some of them
feed
get
on fear.
Exactly. And the fact is, I wasn't. You mean he was bullying people and getting money, and I was the one in that train station at the time. And I mean, when I did that, he didn't know what to do. He leaned back and then he kept on walking, right? And then he came back around. He walked in the train. He came back around, and when he was passing me again, I opened my eyes and gave him a dirty look, and he walked past me like, "Oh, okay." And he kept on moving. I was like, "Motherfucker!" And I closed my eyes again. I was tired. I was tired. All my feet for 12 hours.
Excuse me, miss.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Jova is throwing up fingers, right? So on this channel, they developed this technique that every time somebody says a bad word, it's okay.
I won't cuss anymore then. Yeah, okay. Maybe I won't tell any more stories.
Jova made up this rule.
I didn't make it.
We got a case of ammo already.
I didn't make it up. I want to say Ray made it up. That was
what about
Ray behind the curve. Ray like 3 boxes down too.
Yeah, well, it's the case between all.
Oh no, I've been doing good. You can ask my wife; she'll sit there and say that I've been doing good.
Ray like 3 boxes down, bro.
Nope.
Hey, and we
maybe one.
I guess ammo for cussing.
I think you owe about 10 boxes. Yeah, you owe 10 boxes of ammo.
That's easy.
Hey, when we auction up this ammo, we're just gonna give it to Howard J because you already know he's gonna win.
You had to say it with those words to make you understand like where it was going. Like it escalated.
I just know. Okay, I'll give you guys one more weird story of a kidnap band, right? Okay, so I worked at this Asian bar on Jamaica Avenue, right? And I lived like 5 blocks away. I had to walk 5 blocks to where I lived. So 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be walking at night, right? I don't know. I was crazy back then in my 20s and shit. Anyway, so I was walking, right? And then all of a sudden, so you walk on the main road, and kind of turn on a side road first before you get to the house, like 2 little side roads. And I was walking, and then all of a sudden I saw this kidnap van, they call it kidnap van, the cargo van that has, no windows, the kidnap vans. Yeah, was slowly coming behind me. All of a sudden, was straight in behind me, and I saw the fucker, right? So and there was nobody on the road but me and this kidnap van. So I took my phone out and started, this motherfucker following me. And license plate number, and I turned around, started talking really loud. License plate number, da. Fucker following me. Just in case I go missing, this is who fucking took me. And I'm talking loud too. Because of the fucking kidnap van. Fuck you.
We out of fingers.
He drove off. But I wasn't talking to anybody actually. Nobody's on the phone. But the police, I took my phone out. I was talking really loud about the license plate number. Fucking following me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I was just scared. And I didn't run either. I didn't run. I honestly don't believe when I feel threatened. Sometimes if you look panicked and run, I think sometimes that's the worst thing because they know that you're afraid. And I've been in situations that have been fucking scary. Like so many situations, even in Jamaica, situations. And my first instinct is not necessarily to run, but I let them know I see them. I see you, motherfucker.
Identify the threat.
I let them know I see them. And I'm not scared, and I'm not running, and fuck you, one of us gonna get fucked up today. And I honestly swear that has worked.
Fingers.
I'm still alive now at the age I'm at.
Cass,
after not having
you costing a lot of ammunition on this daggone thing.
Well, shit, I'm gonna win them all fucking tonight. Anyway. The point is, I'm 5'2". I'm not the biggest person. I've even been slimmer than what I am right now. I was always so relatively small to a lot of people. But I'll tell you, I don't care how big you are. I don't care. We're gonna fight tonight. That is fucking that followed me one time from the train station. It was wet, and the fucker followed me. Stink of shit. Stink of shit.
Oh my god.
Fucker, you must be crazy. I started acting crazy at the train station. He followed me. I saw him from the train though. He followed me because I saw him on the train first. He was looking at me, right? And I had on this white dress and it was raining. So I got wet. So I was sexy back in the days, right? So he followed me. I saw where he went a different direction. I went a different direction. I saw him before anyway. He followed me and then I walked. It was like on what's called West Palm. What's that road called again? That train station. No, the dark area. West Tremont Avenue or something? You know where are East Tremont Avenue?
West Farm Square.
Yes, they're lonely as fuck. And then they have the bus station there where you have to wait, right? And so nobody was there late at night, raining, and the fucker followed me from the train and I saw his ass, right? So I went to the train to this bus stop. The next note, he was right beside me in the bus stop. So I went to the very end of the bus stop and I was like looking and I started acting crazy. So yeah, this fucker thinks something's gonna go on tonight. Must be fucking insane. No way. And I just started cussing. That somebody gonna die tonight and we're gonna be fucking me. I'm gonna fuck some motherfucker up today. I was getting all worked up. Anyway, so he didn't quite know what to do because I knew he was there, and he obviously he wasn't sure what to do, right? Because he didn't have the jump on me anymore, and I was acting crazy, and so I was gonna fuck a motherfucker up, right? Anyway, luckily I saw a cab driving past and I stopped the cab. I jumped in the cab. And when I jumped in the cab, he walked off. So he had no intention of taking no bus. He followed me to jump me, but I saw the fucker first. And I was like, so one of us gonna get fucked up, ain't gonna be me. Fuck that motherfucker. So anyway.
Crazy works.
I'm done.
Y'all know that KRS-One song, Jova? Ray, y'all know that KRS-One song, right? Step into my world. Step into my world.
Yeah, I think we just stepped in there.
Anyway, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna get off here. The point is, I don't care how big you are. I never let a fucker know how scared I am. Because I'm from Jamaica. I'm from where no gunshot fire and fuck. I've seen street justice and shit. There's no way no motherfucker gonna get a jump on me and it's gonna go down easy. And I'll kill your ass first before I let anything happen to me and mine, and I'll be okay with it and sleep okay that night. Fuck them motherfuckers. That's how I see it. And I'm okay with it. Like I said, I had a gunman that was my fucking babysitter when I was a kid, and that boy was a fucking crazy motherfucker killer, but he was very polite and we loved him. But so there's no way I'm gonna let anybody hurt me and mine. I'll fuck you up first and I'll be okay with it. And that's why I'm gonna end it and get off this shit.
Later.
Thank you.
Night. I'm gonna put Xavier to bed now. It's almost 9 o'clock. Bye. It's after 9. Okay, bye.
I'll say anytime if crazy works for you, let it work for you. You're gonna be put in so many different situations when you're out there. You got to tap into whatever you feel is gonna work for you. I had a gun pulled on me in a Chinese restaurant, pointed right to my head, and all I could do was laugh. And they thought I was crazy because I just laughed.
What the hell you mean?
So scared. I was so scared out of my mind, but I knew there was nothing I could do. Like it wouldn't matter. So I just started laughing. And he just like looked at me and he just like they left after that, but it worked. And I got out of that situation. But yeah, it was crazy at that time. But that's all.
Let me tell you, some people don't really have to act crazy.
Yeah.
But you really don't want to mess with crazy people.
Yeah.
Some people really are crazy.
And I think crazy will come out in the strangest times and moment. It is
crazy.
It is a lifesaver. Yeah, hell yeah. Especially when you're little and you're looking at somebody that's like 6 foot and better. You gotta be crazy at that time because the minute you allow him to hit you or grab you up, you're done for. So you better act like a Tasmanian devil before he gets stolen at or whatever the case may be. But it all depends on what you want to put out there. If you don't want to be taken, act up. act up. I don't know what you're gonna do, but do it. And I worked at a jail, so at the end of the day, I've seen some things that if I want somebody to leave me alone, I am absolutely gonna do.
All right. Another side is I've been in a incident where I was shot, and since then I've watched a lot of different things unfold, and I reevaluate a lot of past situations, and I noticed certain patterns. And if we didn't notice some of these patterns in some of the videos that we watching, and outside of the things that CZ Mommy was talking about, it usually happens where there is usually if there is one, it's probably a crime of passion. You know what I mean? If there's like one assailant, is usually from my experience and from what I've seen, it's usually a crime of passion. That crime of passion could be maybe one of the things that CZ Mommy was talking about would be like an assault or sexual assault or something like that.
Yeah.
Some type of crime of passion. Every other instance that I've ever seen or heard of seemed to be it was a group of a 2 or 3. So you notice the pattern, like it's always 2 guys. It's 2 guys or 3 guys, and they're coming together. Like when they got the husband and wife in the second video that Ray showed, it was 2 guys got to the wife, and the other one just had walked the husband or something down. It's always something like that. So you see these groups of 2 or 3 that conspiring, because conspiring involves more than one.
Yeah.
Or a lot of times, a conspiracy involves a thought that was collaborated within someone else. You spoke about it, you know. So with that being the case, you can look for signals like, hey, we see a gang of dudes hanging out there. You should be able to like, oh snap. I'm not going to walk in between these dudes. I'm going to cross the street.
Yeah.
Create a path and identify the distance and create some distance, some time and some space. But go ahead. What's up with this, man? This look like my nephew party.
Yeah. Hey, so for the chat, just take a look at this video. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you would do. Some of you may have already seen this.
So that's a big boy.
Yeah. It's not even the point. I mean, you see a dude back there looking like that, just bopping side to side, looking like he's checking out everybody. It's time to roll out. Party over with.
I think that was more. I look at that a little bit different. It's as if someone at that party did something to him, and he can't retaliate, so he's just stuck in himself.
I mean, it's knowing your surroundings. If you're at that party, it looks like an intimate party where people know each other very well. I'll be like, you know him? Like, what's going on there? And if nobody knows who this guy is or what's going on, then you may want to.
Both of y'all wrong. You know what that was?
What's that?
He was at a party. He's seen his old girl hooked up with someone else. He getting ready to shoot everyone else.
Everyone,
right? He can't do nothing about it. He can't do nothing about it.
Party.
I don't know. I mean, because where I'm from, we have characters like that, and that's just how they are. So for me, it would be like, don't pay him no mind. That's almost
yeah. Because he can't dance. Everybody else dancing and he can't.
Actually, that could have been Damon.
That
could have been Damon from Friday After Next. Like you said, fresh fish on the hook.
Remember DMX and Belly when they was in the basement counting the money?
Yeah.
He was like, baby do strip.
Everybody's looking at the guy that looks like that, and it'll be the real quiet one that'll shoot up everything. Like that will be the one that you need to
can't fight. Because he was a dude. He was a dude from Belly rolling it up.
Nah, nobody would have noticed him. If everybody's there having a good time, a party is probably the most vulnerable place to be. Absolutely. A party or a club, because everybody's having a good time. They relax. They letting their hair down, blowing off steam or whatever. And that place, the noise, the music, the vibe, it throws a lot of people off. That place.
I don't know where y'all from, but if we had a house party like that, and somebody's gonna see him and be like, "Yo, what's this about? What is going on?"
We wouldn't have paid him no mind. I would have
Yeah.
paid him no mind. I was
If
like,
it's
what this
intimate
fool mad at?
where-
All right.
where you notice somebody like that, like
Yeah,
you know the people on your street. You know who your crazy people are. Growing up, we had Crazy Tony. We knew Tony was out of his mind, and it was Cheryl.
Everybody got a crazy Tony, man.
But they came to the parties, and we all just knew who they were, and if they wigged out, there was always somebody that could talk to them. Like, relax, don't worry about it. I got her, I got him. Him in that setting is so close knit. You can't tell me nobody noticed that man was rocking.
No, because his girl, that was just like Joe Voss said. His girl was dancing with the other, his ex-girlfriend dancing with the other dude, and he just don't happen to like that other dude. But the other dude too party, too love. So he can't do nothing right did in there. So all he doing is soaking and steaming.
Right.
And, wait till I get her. Or he either gonna if he was gonna do something, he would have left already. Then you worried about it. But if he just standing there watching, all he doing is getting himself all steamed up for nothing.
He waiting for the food to come. That's what he's doing. He mad as hell they don't got over there food. But
hey, what you say? Hey, what they say back in the day? It ain't the brothers inside the party. They got metal detectors at the door. It's those dudes outside the party.
Yeah. What's up, Skilly?
What's going on, peoples?
Big Skills,
bro.
What's going on, man?
Hey, good live yesterday, Skilly. Good live.
Hey, I'm sorry. My wife had to make this an X-rated, R-rated show.
No, she was great. She's telling it how it is. That's how you would curse them out. Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't drop a bump or something in the other.
She did.
Yeah.
Twice.
But usually that's every other word.
That's what put it over his face. That's why I had to cut it off. I was like, I can't go shooting. Hey, Poppy. Hey, you had your
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I was in Myers the other day, me and my wife, while the kids was in school, and this guy, man, cell phone, he just like this with a 36-pack of bottled water walking out the stove, just like this on the phone. I said, boy, he good for the pickings, boy. If I was a robber, he good for the pickings, boy. You ain't got
Skilly gonna get a lick in. That's what I'm talking about.
Pay attention to your surroundings.
Man, he could have got in the inner city of Detroit, boy. I'm telling you, he was doing the wrong thing.
He gonna say, what did the cell look like? He looked like Colonel Stinkmeaner.
And had the man bag on the side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else we got, right?
Hey, Skilly, that was a good live yesterday, man. That was a solid live.
Yeah, I caught the end of it. What else we got, Ray? What else we got in the jewel box?
See, Carbon Q, Urban caught it. Urban Garden caught him.
I know I was cracking up when she just dropped the F-bomb. I was like, get it. She's like,
I step into my world.
Right.
Howard J, you're not eligible. I'm just putting that out there.
Mm-mm.
And if you don't want
this, yo, come on. What we got in the oven, Ray?
Granddad done fell asleep.
No, my bad, man. I was on the phone. My bad.
Oh.
What's up?
You got more videos in there?
Yeah, hold on.
I know it's like 3 more.
Okay.
He trying to get his insulin.
Yeah, see that's why your whack ass internet stopped working on your phone. You
Ray, you know, count it.
Huh? Say what? I said ass. I said ass. That's not a bad word.
That is a bad word.
Nope. Jesus.
That
Jesus
is a bad word.
I mean, Joe.
Yeah, give it up.
He rolled up on his ass.
Yo, I didn't say a single bad word this entire live.
Yes, you did.
Well, yes, you did, Armel. And it's about that time.
What and when?
We'll roll
You're
it back.
thinking too hard, man. You might break a gear, man.
We ain't thinking too hard.
We'll roll it back.
This is a donkey.
That's what.
Change up your routines. Don't have the same routine all the time. Don't go to the same gas station all the time.
Let's see this. This look like New York City.
Yeah, that's New York.
I could not live in New York.
Yeah, hey, that's Armel and that triple fat goose.
Even
Jeez.
lifted one
I mean,
up,
it slammed
slammed him
him.
right into the ground. This was last month at West 203rd Street
Like run your
and
pocket.
9th Avenue. Police have just made this available. They took off with the
You know what's crazy?
the
That's what's
suspects
right
when
where
they took off
Then
with
they
Cassius
the
clowning
vaulted
with
West
him.
jewelry,
Palm
cash,
Square.
and phones. Police say the same group then robbed a woman at gunpoint 1 block away. One of the suspects has been arrested and is facing robbery charges.
5:15.
He's proud of
Jewelry,
himself.
cash, and off with the victim's
Yeah, look at
jewelry,
him. Look.
cash. The
I mean, knock the
suspects
man
took
out, and
off
they're
with the
gonna sit
victim's
there and carry
jewelry,
him around,
cash,
and
and
have fun
phones.
with him.
Mhm.
You know, but that's what these criminals are doing. And one thing I will say, you know, Joe sits there and say they look for easy prey. Nah, nowadays they don't care, man.
They don't.
Yeah,
Most
they
people
do
don't care
look
'cause
for
they
easy
run
prey.
in pack.
But
Like a
Ray,
bunch
Ray,
of hyenas.
Ray,
I'ma
it's like this
dispute
right
that.
here, right? Look at the disproportionality of force. You got a 3-on-2 situation.
Right.
So when I say easy prey, it's not necessarily the weak and the feeble. Now easy prey also turns into the outnumbered,
Number.
right? Because if I got 5-1, if I got 5-3, you're easy prey because everyone knows their assignment. Everyone got a job to do, right? You got one guy that got the gun or the weapon. You got one guy that's giving the instructions. You got one guy that's running the pockets, right? That's what I seen in the movie. That's what Armel told me.
Yo, I can tell you this, right? Easy prey means when you're not easy prey, you have to show some display of confidence. You know what I mean? Easy prey attacks the incompetent. Easy prey is the incompetent people, those who are not paying attention, those who look like they're scared, those who look like these things. That's easy soft target.
Those people that don't make eye contact, even if
That
you
don't make eye contact,
right?
You know what I mean?
And there was a study that was done where a lot of smart people with big brains, they took convicted felons that were ag assault, armed robbery, 187s, 211s, everything in between. They said, what do you look for? There's like, we look for X, Y, and Z. And they actually took them out and they took them into apartment buildings, into places. And they're just like, all right, these people that's walking down the street, who would you get? He was like, I get that one. Why? He's not paying attention. He looks weak. He looks the part. He looks like an easy mark. He looks like, or they look like they're not going to resist. Because again, 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to get a lick, I don't want anyone to resist, because you resist, that takes time. The more time I'm exposed, the more likelihood I got someone that's going to come up and intervene, or a cop's going to get called. And those are for individuals that did it during the day. Now, the dudes that go out during, at night, they're coming in strong arm, everything else, and it's just all bets are off. And that goes back to another thing. If you are one of these people that find yourself on the wrong end of a predator, don't go anywhere with them, because I can rob you right where I got you, right? If I take you to a secondary location, it's something else that's going on. Ransom, kidnapping, rape,
right,
murder.
You got to remember that when we say be confident, you could be the most confident person, know how to defend yourself, everything. There's also another element to it, which is the drugs. They can roofie your drink. It could be your very own people that you roll with.
Facts.
You go to a bar, they drop something in there, but you're the one that's making the money. You're the one that got whatever it is that they want. They'll set you up. Go out to drink. You get out there, you're all woozy, and then you get something like what that kid had right there.
No Diddy.
Apparently he has the money because they run in his pockets. They clearly know who this kid is. They clowning him at the same time. I don't know if the other guy had the other one against the wall. His homeboy.
Yeah, it was.
Right. So at the end of the day, you gotta watch so many things with this. There's a whole drugging element that comes into play. It's watching your surroundings, knowing who you're going out with. You don't always have to go out with the same people. Sometimes switch it up. Sometimes just say no. Say yeah, you're going, and don't show up. Just always keep people on a wheel, if you want to call it. Don't be so predictable. Change up your routine. Don't take everything somebody gives you. Oh, let me buy you a drink. I'm good. I don't know what you put in there. If you go to the bathroom, don't drink that. Get a new drink.
Yep.
Hey, Joe.
Sir.
Joe, what the hell is this?
What?
Hey, Tony.
What is this?
Oh, that's that's for your 3 or 4 indiscretions, and you went off after Armel already said we're giving this up. So
No, I didn't go off.
Well, you didn't
Ass
go
is
off,
in the,
man. You started talking
ass
about
is
the
in the Bible. Go read
Okay.
your Bible. Okay. Ass is in the Bible.
You know I can't read.
It's a donkey.
It's a donkey.
You know I can't. Why did you just say donkey? Why did you say get your donkey? Okay.
All right, Uncle Luke.
Hey, all right. Hey, but no, speaking what Carbon Q said, change up your routine is called developing a pattern of life. So if you work up a profile on someone, you're going to look to their pattern of life. You're going to know that every day at 7 o'clock, between 7 and 7:15, they leave their door to go walk their dog. They come back 45 minutes later. They do their personal hygiene, whatever they do in the house. Then they're out the door at 9 o'clock. They take this route, do this. They stop here to get their coffee. On their way back, they stop here to play the lottery and everything else. Once you develop that and you know that individual's pattern of life, you can pick your spot if you want to do an interdiction on them, if you want to jack them, or if you want to break into their house, because you know when they're there and when they're not there and what they're doing, you know? So like Carbon Q said, try to vary your routine somewhat, especially, you know, before it used to be, well, you're living this type of lifestyle, you're doing this, you're doing that, it's this, it's that. Now it's asymmetrical. Everyone's out there looking for a lick. You could be driving a rental car or your own vehicle, and someone needs another vehicle to commit a crime, or you could have a nice vehicle, or you could have a lot of jewelry on, or you could just look the part to where just how you're dressed and the stores you go to and everything else, and they see the stuff and they want it. So just be safe, you know. Cell phones, you know, cell phone thieves is big overseas. So if you are one of those individuals that go out the country, just be mindful of that. They steal cell phones a lot, especially down in the DR and everything else. You know, yeah.
Go through your luggage, make sure nobody has an ear tag tagged onto your luggage. So now they're following you whilst you're out of town.
Yep.
Your hotel, and that's it for you.
That's even in town.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the States.
Make sure you do an inspection of your car, your loved ones' cars, especially if you have, you know, younger kids that are driving now. That trafficking is real big out all over at this point.
Yes.
You know, look for those little telltale signs. They put money on your windshield. They'll put, you know, a bag under your wheel. Check the back of your bumpers, your tires, everything, the handles, anything that looks out of pocket. Yeah. Bring it to somebody's attention. You know, don't just brush it off. Say, hey, listen, there's nothing on here. It's normally not there. Just, you know, have your dad, your uncle, your brother, somebody, you know, your mom, whichever. Let them notice, you know, something is on there that's not supposed to be on there. And talk to your kids, you know, have these conversations with their kids, show them these videos and be like, you know, somebody come, drop your body weight. It's harder for them to snatch you if you just go dead weight. Don't just, you know, oh, hey, they got me. Drop to the floor and hang on to something, a pole, a gate, whatever. Just don't let them get you. This is
make a lot of noise also.
Yes.
And for women, a body part is not off limits.
Right.
Body part is not off limits.
Get at them. Yes.
Yeah.
Really.
You know, and then you know, speaking of that, speaking of human trafficking and everything else, so be careful of people working in teams that seem innocuous. Like, you know, hey, Skilly, can you help me out? My family just got here. My family's starving. You know, can you do this and everything else? Skilly wants to be a nice person. Skilly's going in his wallet. He's talking to him. He's distracted. Now either I done jumped in his car, stuck a gun to him, or if it's a female, I done rolled her up and did this. Or let's say I want to target someone, right? A lot of cars used to be good. They used to have locking gas caps or locking gas doors. Now a lot of the cars you can just push the gas door open. Yeah. So someone could disable your car to where it will immobilize it a little ways down the road. So again, if I got your pattern of life, I can go ahead and take a small ping pong ball used for beer pong, put in your gas tank. After you drive for a while, that suction is going to come down there and clog your fuel line. And you can kind of calculate where it's going to happen and get you on an isolated road. Now you just scooped up, just scooped. Another precaution is have an emergency phone number in your phone to where you can just hit the emergency buttons and it calls several people, right? You don't have to unlock your phone because sometimes you don't have time to unlock your phone. Everything's going on. And don't just do one phone number because, someone's knocking on my window and they scare me. Call Skilly. Skilly's at work. Now I'm just assed out, Now I'm dancing for the Amazonian woman, when they throwing dollars at me. That's not a bad life. Making me sandwiches, fixing me all kinds of exotic fruits, moving me from Chief Hut to Chief Hut. Now I'm the king of the Amazonian woman. Oh wait, that was my fantasy on OnlyFans last night. My bad. Hey, please like and subscribe. But seriously, as Carbon Q said, human trafficking is a huge problem, and not only in the U.S. but worldwide. So yeah, man, human trafficking, man. That's
And it's not just females; they're trafficking males, females, children, everything you name it, boys, girls.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're coming for everybody. So
especially if you got that good blood, that good old blood, that old type blood, they take you for all kinds of transplants and everything, bro. That's good. Rich people pay for your organs,
Break guns. That is the drink me under the table. That's one. There's another one. One of my friends, he had that done to him. They robbed him. So he didn't even know what it took him days to get his memory back, but eventually he did get it back. And it was a family member who did it to him.
As a person who's been a victim of this incident myself, and I can sit back and reflect on what I've done wrong. And what I did was I made myself an easy target. I was out at Mardi Gras drinking, drunk, intoxicated, and I underestimated how hungry these young men in the city of New Orleans were. I was that young, arrogant New York dude, and they were country talking woadies, and they ate my food. You know what I mean? And that was me underestimating them and me putting myself in a compromised situation by being drunk in public, drunk, high, intoxicated in an unsecured environment. So you out there drinking, it's bigger than drinking and driving. That drinking stuff can make you a victim as well.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, that's why drinking, that high intoxication stuff, you're no easier target because all your defenses are down, so everything's down. And the worst thing I've ever seen was somebody that was drunk and intoxicated and the wolves came and they were strapped. They were intoxicated, high or whatever. They were strapped and the assailants assaulted them, took their gun and shot them.
You're impaired. You can't even
completely impaired. And this wasn't no weak civilian that doesn't know how this thing worked. This was somebody who was in the streets like that, and they caught him slipping, intoxicated, high, having a good time. His guard was down. His situational awareness was impaired due to the intoxicants that he was indulging in, and they caught him slipping. Got his gun and shot him without any type of things going on. And when I think about that, it's hard pressed.
When I have my weapon on me, quote unquote speaking, I don't do no more than maybe one. Like I went out with my wife and her coworkers, had one margarita and that was it. Cause I know I got to hit home. And if I get pulled over with my gun and I'm over the limit, I can get my rights taken away. So a lot of times I'm one and done. And then I'm drinking water, eating on some ice at that point after the rest of the night. So I kind of where I need to go and where I need not to go.
Yeah, I'm an at-home barbecue guy. I hang out if I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
If I'm not drinking nowhere where I can't sleep.
Right. Makes sense.
I'm not indulging. If I'm not sleeping there, I'm not drinking there. So, so I'm there.
You're, it's also the buddy system. Know the people that you're going out with, where you could be like, "Listen, are you drinking?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm drinking." I know how to gauge what I'm doing from that point on, because all of us can't be drunk at the same time. Somebody got to be responsible. Somebody got to be like, "Hey, that's enough."
Man, y'all a bunch of lames. Apparently, I ain't never been in the military at 19 years old.
I was there.
Doing that.
And when they caught me slipping, I was in the military at the time.
Nah, and again, that is something to think about, Skilly, and that's a very good point, because you really shouldn't be messing around. Firearms and altered states of consciousness really don't mix. A lot can go wrong. And then, also, once you lose, you can get sick, you can do this, you can do that, you can just, like, when you get totally wasted, totally tore down, start missing flights and all that other shit.
And I ain't talking about totally messed up. Just some drinking, part of the fun of the drinking or the indulger, because it's not always drinks. You know what I mean? Some people tend to indulge in other creative activities, but you have to understand that these activities impair your situational awareness in some way, shape, or form. Because if it didn't, it wouldn't feel so good. You know what I mean? But just think that these situations, if you're going to indulge, make sure you're in a safe, secured environment and you have a safe and secured individual that you trust. Because another thing is nothing worse than having a dumbass for a friend. And I think Carbon brought that up.
That's true.
If you got a friend that just want to turn it up all the time and instigate and fight and everything, you might need to, I got a friend and he in the chat too, but he a cool dude in person, but he get on the internet, he'll turn it up. You know what I mean? But if he was like that in person, I couldn't, we have to watch. My wildest cowboy is y'all heard her a little while ago. And she quite civilized in person.
Hey, Armel, so this is your video, man. You want to talk about it before I play it or what?
I don't know which one it is. I just sent like 80 videos, but go ahead.
Oh, good Lord, man. All right.
A cell phone shop when two customers walk in. By their attire, Tommy thinks he's being pranked. But what happens next is anything but a joke.
Close the door off the door. Go out the door. Go out the door. Go off the door. I want the door locked. You got you lock it off. Come here. Show me your clothes. Huh? Show me your clothes. Show me your clothes. Oh, he lost it. All right, come on.
The suspect takes Tommy in the back.
Go to straight on the phone. These phones are all straight on the phone. The phone's over there.
Strictly amateur hour.
Yeah. He got a scarf covering his face like he got COVID.
Don't look at me. Look at me.
Hey, he like the dude. He like Raymond from White Man Can't Jump.
The assailant senses Tommy is looking for a way out. But Tommy flees through the back door of the cell phone shop. He finds the back door of a neighboring travel agency open and escapes through the front with a female worker.
Oh, the female worker.
The man pulls down the security gate.
Got him.
The assailant is trapped and desperate to escape.
Yo, lift it up. Lift it up. Come on. Lift it up. So please, let me in. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, a crowd has gathered outside.
Yo, open the door for me. Take my open the door. Push it up for me. What I'm doing yet? Yo, go pop up. Yo, you gonna record me, dude?
This suspect uses his body to try to break down the door. In the back, the assailants find tools. They use a wrench to break the metal cage of a
Where the
side window
police?
and escape from the store. Police arrest Samuel Abu and Travis Davis. They are both charged with armed robbery.
Look old as
Both
hell.
get 5-year
Cell phone.
sentences followed by
Yo, that's what
probation
them
with
drugs
time
do. That's
served.
them dope fiends, bro. They got to get that hit.
He look old as hell. Somebody he's 60
So
years
you
old.
think it's just young boys?
Yeah. Hey, so here's a question right here, right? So could that cell phone to that phone store owner be charged with unlawful detention and kidnapping?
No.
No.
You sure?
Yeah,
No, because they trespassed.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he had a firearm. Totally
The moment they brought in hostility and the gun, it was
Okay.
over.
So all right. So
It didn't
let
apply.
me play Armel. What about the bodega? What about Poppy at the bodega back in New York? They threw him in jail.
That was a different situation.
How's that different? Dude came in there to rob him. He killed him. Right.
That was a different situation.
How's that different, Armel? Tell me how, man.
That was a different situation.
How-
It
how's
was
it
different
different?
because where he was
he
at.
came in there with violence.
You in New York, there's no such thing as self-defense.
How's that different, man? It wasn't self-defense.
That was a self-defense. That was evading and trapping.
Yeah, but he violated those dudes' civil rights because
They violated their own civil rights the moment they pulled out the gun.
Yeah, there was no longer a threat once he left. He didn't have to.
Yeah, and he was no longer a threat to them, and he didn't threaten them anymore. All he did was close up his store.
Yeah, but
they
they
just got
wanted to
trapped
leave.
in it.
That was unlawful detention. They wanted to leave.
No,
Red
you
light,
ain't.
AJ. They wanted to leave. They was leaving after somebody else came that could handle them without violence, like the police.
Nah. See, you don't like that, do you, Armel? Now you see
Yeah,
how
I like
feels.
it. I love it. Not
Now
only
you
do
see
I
how
like
it
it,
feels.
not
Oh,
only
New
do I
York was
like it, I
different.
love it. But
The
for
bodega
real
was
though, the
different.
situation in New York, that was different
That
because
was different. Different how?
I didn't see the vid. I don't even know what you're referring to, but because I usually
If
don't
y'all know-
watch these violent
Armel,
type videos.
If
For
you don't
real.
know what I'm talking about, how you gonna say it's different?
Because you explain the scenario and I understand it. You're saying the place, the scenario, the bodega, and all that stuff. So I know that situation.
I love you, Armel. I love you,
But
man.
the guy at the bodega should have got the hell out of there.
He couldn't, man. Dude came in there strong arm. That dude was young.
I
and
didn't see the
everything
video,
else.
so I really couldn't.
I mess with you, Armel.
I really couldn't say.
All right, well, hey, Armel, you might as well turn your head on this one. This has
Yeah,
some
all right,
violence
I
there.
got you.
Yeah, all right. We don't want you to get all skirmish and stuff or whatever. All
What's
right,
up?
so
This is like India.
nah, this is Brazil.
Somebody getting cut.
Now, unbeknownst
He said
to the
somebody
pharmacist
getting cut.
inside, Tweedledum there in the yellow cap is going to show and kind of talk about the fact that he has some kind of weapon, I think a gun, that he is going to show right there and say, yo, give me the money out of the till. And the driver's going to kind of think about coming around the back. Well, watch what goes down here because Tweedledum is going to catch a bullet. And so does Tweedledee because the guy behind the counter has a gun because he's an off-duty Polícia Civil here in Brazil. He is a cop. And so he's going to pop both of those guys, hit them both. Now, the driver, who was second out the door, by the way, lays down and regrets his life choices. Our other guy appears to have run off, but let's see what goes down here in just a second. Our defender is going to show up and put a knee on this guy, get his hand behind his back and kind of frisk him a little bit, but he's really paying attention down the street because Tweedledum has not run away. I don't know if he fell over or whatever, but you're going to see him come back on screen with a couple of new piercings that he has earned. And he is going to lay down and regret his life choices as well. Now, you're going to see a couple of people eventually show up to see what happened. They're not going to be real helpful. And I think our defender here is getting off screen. I'm almost positive what he's doing there is retrieving the gun that Tweedledum dumped. Because you can see it in his left hand there. And they held both these guys, took them both into custody. took them to the hospital first to deal with their gunshot wounds and then to the police station to face the many charges that they have coming to them. I know that he's
Real gully, bro.
Yeah, he got him good in the back. Ooh wee.
Good shot.
Yeah. I mean, that was 2 videos showing, the criminals wasn't paying attention to their surroundings and situational awareness.
Y'all didn't have your glasses?
No, look at this dude. What time is it? Yeah, it's about that time.
Y'all didn't have your
It's about,
glasses?
it's that time that Armel falls off the train.
Y'all didn't have your eclipse glasses, man?
Hey, that's what I was getting ready to say. Joker look like Flavor Flav with the glasses on.
Flavor, a rebel in his own mind, controller of the rhyme.
Yeah. Hey, everyone! Thanks for hanging out with us this long. It's over with.
Yeah,
it's meds been wore off.
Yo, you can't see nothing through these glasses but the sun, baby.
Why is you bleeding? Why is you? Every time you put them on, you do just like this.
Because I can't see the light. You can't see nothing through these things, bro.
Go and put them back on, Armel.
Nah, I'm good. But yo, check it, man. Yo, y'all see my eclipse thing, man? I had to put it in front of the phone. That was the best, man. I see everybody tell me they tried to do that, man. I was like, I might need to take some photography, videography classes or something, man.
Oh, here you go.
Yo, you might want to take your meds, man, because it seemed like that trip went off. You went from
Flavor. Yo, that Brazil gave me flashback memories, man, of the good old life.
That boy been looking like little Daryl.
Yo, that Brazilian stuff, man, threw me back. That threw me way back, bro.
Hey, so where's your eclipse video at, Armel?
I put it on Instagram.
Oh, it's on Instagram? Okay.
That's a dope. I caught the eclipse. I caught it like right at that point.
You looked into the sun, didn't you, Armel?
Nah, I ain't look at it. Yo, you didn't have to look at the sun because it was so blazing. The sun beams was so much more than regular that it was just like, it was too much. You had to have your sunglasses on today. Today was a heavy day, man. But it was my first time experiencing an eclipse, man, and I really enjoyed. My baby girl didn't get out the car. Cass had the daggone working the whole thing. I'm the only one out enjoying it, man.
Did you guys
I had a pretty good time.
Fight or freeze?
Say again?
Did you guys talk about fight, flight, or freeze?
I don't even know.
No, we didn't. We just talked about situational awareness. We didn't talk about your reactions and how some of those reactions kind of marry over or can mirror each other and everything else. Those psychosomatic reactions actually that go just from your primordial being yourself. Again, either you're predator or prey.
Yeah.
But again, hey, Carbon Q, thanks for joining us. We would definitely like to have you and some other ladies in the two-way space and just in the space come up and talk about situational awareness and self-defense from a female's perspective, and not so much just about carrying a gun, but just some of the things that females can do and we can impart to our female loved ones to help them better take care of themselves, and some of the things to be on the lookout for, just because, I got a voice like Barry and looks like Denzel doesn't mean he ain't going to diddy you.
Yeah. And hey, Skillian, thank you for coming up here and showing everybody how dirty your damn nails are, because you've been cleaning them like for the last hour.
Hey, man. Hey, Ray. Skilly's new name is Cream Corn from Black Dynamite.
He got that one little long cocaine nail.
One of the things I want to touch on that came up that we didn't put a lot of iteration on was that parking situation, because I was Ray mentioned it earlier about the backing in, and I tell him I go back and forth with my wife. It's easy for her to drive in, but I said you don't care about driving in. What you more need to be more concerned about is getting out. You don't want to have to make any extra movement when you're trying to avoid or get out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that backing in, constantly backing in, that's something that we may want to consider doing ourselves and sharing with our loved ones.
Well, that's the only way I park. That's why I said when Joe was talking about it, say it again so my wife could hear it.
That's a simple thing. That is a simple thing.
Yeah. I also something else. Speaking about vehicles, I mean to cut you off, Ray or Mel. A lot of people are in a habit when they come to their house, they'll hang their keys up in real close proximity to the door. So a lot of these cars now have key fobs. Going to the days with straight keys where you can just, pop it and do all the good stuff. But those key fobs have an RFID chip in them and they send out a frequency and everything else. And there's tools out there where people can spoof those, and then they'll get that signal because it's continually communicating with that vehicle, and they can spoof it and steal your car, or they can spoof it and jump in your back seat.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think I have to worry about that, but it still would behoove me to look in my back seat and make sure someone ain't in there talking about surprise. I got too much stuff in my back seat, so they're gonna be like, "Yo, you need to clean this up."
Mm-hmm. They sell those little Faraday bags. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to catch you up. Like
no,
Tony,
you're good.
Wrap your fob in foil. They have those Faraday bags. You could just put a little one on your table that you normally carry keys in. When you come in, just throw it inside there so they don't read it. They can also read your garage opener.
Yep.
Get into the garage as well. So those,
So your garage openers work like generally on that 5 gigahertz, 2.4 to 5 gigahertz frequency. You can go ahead and do that. And
Your
if you're
garage
too cheap,
typically has a lock on the middle of it that you can turn and lock to secure your house, but I don't see that many people using them.
Yeah, most people are not going to do that because they actually use their garage to go in. But if you're too cheap to get a Faraday bag, certain potato chip bags are lined with aluminum, and you can put it in there and it'll kill that signal. Or you just wrap it up in aluminum foil. So aluminum foil is good for other things other than making hats.
No, I'm not a car. If I'm not in it, is not like a threat. They take it. I'm getting a new one.
Yeah, but we're not talking about them taking it. We're talking about them being in
your house, getting you,
or getting in your house, because a lot of people have the automatic garage door openers that's keyed to their car, or that's programmed to their car. And then it's just a matter of fact, you don't, for some vehicles and some garages, you don't have to have the car on in order to open up the garage.
Right.
So once I get into your vehicle, right now I can get into your house, because who locks the door going from the garage to the house? Not a whole bunch of people, but and also that door is usually a real flimsy door. That's like a 3-second door, and if you're going to go in hard, you're just going to kick it in.
I think that's one of the topics that we're going to be discussing later on and on this channel. Ray, you could confirm that with me. That was one of the topics, home security and securing your home. But that's one of the topics we're going to get into late, maybe next week or the week after. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got to look at the schedule.
The schedule. But yeah, we're going to really get into the weeds with that one, because it involves some gear that that some of us may have some experience with, whether good or bad. And we could even, I hope Skilly's there to talk about his Ring doorbell he was paying $1 million for. But
there you go,
nah, but yeah, man, I had to throw that in. But it was great that everybody came in, man. Carbon Q, Skilly, Philly Slow, Hot Tub Tony, Damon Christ, and thank y'all for being tolerant of my wife's bad words. She's usually not like that. She just get, how some people get camera shy. She get amped up on camera. It's the opposite effect. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you guys for showing up, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
You need to respond to my text message, Ray. I mean, you're gonna have a problem, but we'll discuss it another time.
Yes,
man,
Billy.
that sounds like communication of terroristic threat.